Okay, today we're going to be solving the surface area of a triangular prism, specifically a right triangle. Remember that surface area is the area of all the faces. As you can see, this particular prism has 5 faces. So it's got one face here, which is the triangle here. It's got another one in the back that's equal to it, so that makes 2 faces. Plus, it's got 3 more faces wrapping it that are rectangles. So if you see here, this would be the 3rd face, the 4th face that's looking at us, and then the bottom, which is the 5th face. So we're going to be solving for 5 faces, 2 triangles, 3 rectangles. So first of all, I can see that this triangle is a right triangle. I know that because it has a 90-degree angle. This symbol tells me that it's 90 degrees, and a right triangle needs a 90-degree angle. So remember that the formula for the area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. So for this particular triangle, we need to find the base. The base is kind of always the bottom or where it sits on. So if you look here, this would be the bottom or the base, so it's 4. Now we need the height. Remember, the height is how tall it is, or the straight up and down line. So this has to be the height, which is 6. Don't get confused with this here. This is not the height. This is the slant. The height is always the straight up and down point. So we're going to use 6. And then we're going to divide that by 2, since a triangle is half of a rectangle or a square. And we get 12. So I now know that this front face is 12. I know this is also equal to it, so it's also 12. So I've solved for 2 faces so far. I need 3 more, which are the rectangles that wrap around it. So remember that the formula for solving for a rectangle is just length times width. So we're going to solve for those now. So let's first solve for the front rectangle. So I need a length. If you see here, the length is going to be 8. The width is right here, which is going to be 6. And 8 times 6 is 48. All right, next, let's solve the bottom rectangle. So if you see here, the bottom rectangle, the length is also 8, but this time our width is over here, which is equal to over here. So it's an 8 by 4. So we're going to do 8 times 4, which is 32. Now we're going to solve for the back one over here. Okay? I don't have any measurements, so if I look at this, it lines up with this 8. So I know still that the length is 8. And then I'm going to multiply that by the width. So if this is the length, I can see that the width is here and here. So that lines up with this 7. So then 8 times 7 is 56. All right, so now I know the front face is 48. I know that the bottom face is 32. And I know that this back face is 56. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. I've solved for 5 faces. So the last step is to add all of those together. I'm going to do 12 plus 12 plus 32 plus 48 plus 56. When I add all of those together, I get 160. It needs a label. We're measuring in centimeters. An area is always squared. So it's 160 square centimeters is my total surface area.